This box looks very big for a Game Boy, but we'll have a look at the eBay listing and see what's inside. So here's the listing, and it's in very good condition. It even has, look how clean the contacts are. Oh, it's got a, uh-oh, I don't like that. I'm wondering if the polarity is right for that to work on a Game Boy. We'll have to open it up and have a look. But that might be the reason why it's not coming on. I did notice it even had the external connector cover. So I paid £29 and £2.94 delivery. So let's open this up and we'll have a look. There's a box inside a box. And some bubble wrap. Now this is the charger that they've been using. And it's one of them awful ones that have got the different voltages on. And it's also got the polarity switch there. So if I look at that correctly, with the polarity switch up, it's negative polarity, and with the polarity switch set to the bottom, it's this one, which is positive polarity. And it's actually set at 6 volts. Now I've got an official one here. The official one is also, I don't know if that's going to pick up there, negative polarity on the official one. So that might not be the cause after all. Well, 10 out of 10 for packaging. LMP Gamester video game accessories. Right, what do we have? Let's test it with some batteries first. Wrong way around. That's how long it's been since I've did a video. And indeed, no power. Let's take these out. I'm going to plug in my official one. I need a plug. Plug that in there. And not a sausage. Right, let's get it open. I'm trying to listen for a little click as I open these screws to tell us if it's been opened before. Nah, not sure. I don't think this has been opened before. There's a little click when I turn them. Right. Look how clean it is. Wow. That is lovely. I've got a couple of Phillips heads here. Right. So my first thoughts are it's going to be a dirty switch. It's nice to see it's got a chip in rather than one of those horrible blob chips. So I'm just going to put a little bit of IPA in that switch. Do that a couple of times. And then use a little bit of air just to perhaps blow anything out that shouldn't be in there. But it looks as clean as a whistle. Right. That was harder than it should have been. And that's it. Unfortunately, or fortunately, depending on which way you want to look at it. I'll not count my chickens yet. Let's get that switch back in there. And we'll grab a game. Tetris is a good game for testing because it loads up quick. Right. We're not out the woods yet because we've got some lines on the screen missing, as you can see. So we'll have to heat the soldering iron up to get rid of them. Obviously sound's working. Both buttons are working. Left, right, up and down. Select works, because you can see that icon, you can see that shape disappearing, and start is start and select's working. So unfortunately we've got some lines on the screen which we'll have to deal with. So we'll put that to one side. We'll take a look at this. There's far too many screws in here. I think that's it. They all seem to be a bit stuck down. Just twist the case slightly like that. That's really clean. It doesn't even look like it's had much use. Look. These are really clean. There's no dust or dirt around the speaker. Okay, so we've got to pull this little rubber seal off, and then we've got to power it back on and rub a warm soldering iron over the area where the screen lines are missing. Right, let's pull this little rubber thing off. and be sure to get the little bit of it. I'm sure that's adhesive. Yeah, take that off as well, otherwise you'll end up with a sticky mess. So we'll switch this on, turn the contrast wheel so it's nice and dark, and there's a line missing here and there's one or two missing from over here. So I've got a dry soldering iron at 280, and I can see with my glasses on I've got a couple missing from this side, so I'm just going to rub the soldering iron in this corner. And it makes it worse. Right, I think that's got that side. No, there's one coming back. There's a very slight one I can see. We'll let that cool down, we'll go over to this side. We'll see what we're missing here. So now I don't know if I'm missing anything from this side. It looks like I am. There they are. Coming back in there now. There's an awful gap there which doesn't seem to be doing anything. I wonder if the screen's actually damaged. Oh, look at that. Right up at the top next to the metal shielding. Looks like it's the place to be. Got two very faint lines left. There we go. The bottom of the screen here has got a very greenish tinge. I think that is a success. Let's see if we can get it back together without them coming back. Oh, I didn't put the rubber thing back on. That's lost its sticky. But I do have some double-sided tape. We'll keep that tape ready for putting the screen protector back on. Why did I do that? I should have stuck it down before I pulled the back off. What am I doing? How not to do it, but it's done. Put a screw in to hold it in place, and then make sure that the buttons feel okay, because sometimes they can slip. And if you're working on anything like this and you're missing a screw, check to see if the screw hasn't attached itself to the speaker. I've searched high and low for missing screws, and they've actually been stuck onto the speaker. Right, all screws back in. Let's test this. Let's test that before we put it back together fully. And hope that the lines haven't reappeared. And they haven't. And I've got sound. So that's good. So that's back together. I've taken a couple of screws out from somewhere. Two here. Did they go in there? I can't remember where they went. Genuinely flummoxed. I think they went in there. And I've got 6 tri-wings to go back in. And hopefully that'll be it. Upside down again. Right, lovely. Screen looks great and intact. I'll just put some of this on and we'll put this back on. Now I've got some replacements of these, but this one's in quite nice condition. I'm not going to clean up the old adhesive, but I will just put a few lines of tape on. Let's try to get that squared up. Yummy. There we go. Shall I put a bit more on? I may as well do it properly. There we go. That looks okay. Pop that back on. And all done. What a fantastic video. I'm sure you'll love it. Brilliant. This can go into the box of Game Boys, and they make good Christmas presents. So with Christmas coming up, I'm sure I'll sell a few over Christmas. And that's it for today's video. Not much happening. Nice simple fix, dirty switch and a few lines on the screen, easily sorted out with a soldering iron set to 280 degrees. And that's it for the video. Thanks for watching, and I hope to see you in the next one.